Lovell. I am a registered nutritional therapist, maturation coach, executive coach, writer and speaker. And this is a message for all of you wonderful people that follow me, that are in my community, that read my newsletters, follow me on social media. For those of you that have been in this space a while, you'll know that I took 5 weeks off this summer, that I made a decision, a choice to take some time off with my kids. So I'm back, which feels really good. And I just wanted to share a bit with you about how it's been. You know, before I went off, there was this fear in me, this panic of taking 5 weeks off, what that meant in terms of work, money, the fear that brought up in me was really prevalent because it challenges everything that I've ever known about what work should look like, what life should look like. This was a big step. And it's funny now, remembering back, I can really remember back to when I was just sitting there and kind of finishing off the last emails, making sure that everything was nice and tidy, that my clients were all sorted, ready for kind of September. And how tight my body was, how I could really, really feel it all. And now I'm the other side, and it's interesting because it doesn't feel that long now. I just simply took 5 weeks off. And we had a beautiful summer. It wasn't without its ups and downs because that's the nature of life. That's the nature of motherhood, which I stepped into. But it was a beautiful time and space to really slow down. And just notice what was going on in my body. Notice how much I live from the place where my body and my central nervous system is switched on, and how this time and space just allowed that to really settle. That allowed me to soften in our body. It also allowed me to see lots of things, see more about my own patterns and behaviours and how that lives my life. But it was a beautiful summer. A beautiful summer to really see what it is I want in life. And I'm setting the intention now to do this every year for as long as my children want to hang out with me, and then perhaps when they don't, I can still allow myself that time and space. We're so conditioned into the way things should look, the way they ought to look, or the way that they always have looked. And so I'm challenging for myself and invite you to do the same about how it can be different. It takes the work to get to that place, or at least it has done for me, to peel back the layers, to really take a leap. It was a leap for me to take 5 weeks off. But I've chosen something different, a different way of being in the world, and that feels good. So I'll just finish with, if you did want to come in and work with me, I thought I'd tell you a bit about what I do and how you can work with me. So as you heard in the beginning, there's a number of things that I do and bring to the work, but there's something that's important to me. First of all, or a few things. First of all, I'm really passionate about this life that we live. You know, I want to really live this life. And that doesn't mean that it's all roses all of the time, because it isn't. Life can bring us to our knees. But it's how we then choose to navigate it. It's how we choose to live our life in spite of those things, or sometimes because of those things. I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you if life hadn't brought me to my knees. So that's the first thing. I'm really, really passionate about this life. And I'm really passionate about the human being, our bodies, how our bodies work, how our minds work, the human condition, the kind of patterns, the behavior. And that's what all of my training brings together. So when you work with me, I look at the whole you, mind, body, emotions, and soul. Because you can't look at one aspect in isolation. I tried that when I first qualified as a nutritional therapist. You know, I'd work with my clients and I'd tell them what to eat, but you know, as you will hear me say, and I say a lot, our relationship with food runs deep. It's not really about the food. It's about the relationship that we have with ourselves. And so that's what I bring. So there are three one-to-one ways to work with me. Soul Moments, that's a 2-hour session. And that's really to bring you back in your body. It's about stillness. It's about taking a breath. And what I bring into that session is intuitive coaching and Reiki. And so I'll get a sense of where you're at, what's going on for you, and then we integrate and we breathe so that you can come back to that stillness within. That deep part of you that when all the noise is going on, you can't hear. But when you come to stillness, when you breathe, there's nothing else in that moment. Then I do the Soul Intensive, which is a day together, a whole day to explore the 4 pillars that I work on: mind, body, emotions, and soul. This is an incredible day. I love this day because I get to hang out with you for a whole day. And together we journey through those 4 elements. It's embodied. We do Reiki. We have an experiential lunch as part of that. And we see what's going on for you. We see what's at the root. What are the patterns and the behaviours that are living your life? What lights you up? What do you want to do? We challenge the norm and invite something different in. And then you can work with me for 6 months. That's my Soul Beauty program. This is the deepest level of work I do, and this is the maturation work. So maturation looks at what happens in childhood and the stories that live our life and how we can step beyond those stories. It brings everything that's unconscious conscious, so that you're able to choose from that place. Because often we choose from our patterns and our beliefs. And so you know this, I know this myself, we choose the same things because it's part of the survival mechanism that we've built up. So that's the deepest level of work that I do. And it's all bespoke to you. You know, nothing's fixed. It's about what you need. What you need in this moment. So if you'd like to come in and work with me, just drop me an email at nicola@nicoladuffel.com or book in for a discovery call, which you can on my website, which is nicoladuffel.com. And I can tell you more about that. There's never any obligation, just what you feel called to. So I'm sending love. And if you're a mother and you're just going back to school, as my children are, and that's bringing up, well, anything from joy to grief, it can be anything, and it can be both as well. I'm sending love.